Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. It's Summit Week. Who is excited for Summit? Yay! In the comments, why don't you guys drop and share when you're arriving, like day, time-ish, so that we can get an idea of when we can start seeing people trickling in. I'm coming in Thursday around 3 or 4. Yay! Perfect. Then Olivia, that'll be plenty of time for you to check in, get to the Airbnb, and then probably head right over to our social hour. Yay. Okay. Perfect. And then you guys can keep writing them as you go. Awesome. Thursday afternoonish. Yep. Perfect. That's awesome. Yes. And Indy is a really great city for walking around, so that'll be perfect, Heather. Yes. Okay, awesome. I'm super excited, you guys, to hug you guys in person and just get to laugh, sweat, grow, all the good stuff with you guys. Summit is just such a fun event. And so tonight I wanted to take our team training and talk a little bit about community, talk about Summit, talk about leveraging the coaching opportunity with all of that. Because I think it can be very easy in this business for most coaches to enter and talk about the fitness. Because for the most part, coaches that are working, we should cross our fingers and hope that they're also working on themselves. There's like 3 tiers to this business. Well, I would say there's probably more tiers than this, but the underlying foundational tier is self-care. And once a coach feels like they've mastered and gotten a handle on like following a program, the next level is to invite others with them, right? And a lot of times we get stuck at that level. Coaches get stuck, and a pyramid, a triangle, whatever, the base of any pyramid or triangle that you're going to see is always larger than the top. And the same is true for coaches. This week at Summit, you will see so many coaches. You will see like ridiculous amounts of coaches, ridiculous amounts. You're like, whoa, I didn't even realize like that many coaches were in this network. It's insane. But the majority of those coaches, you guys, are hanging out at the bottom together. They're hanging out with their self-care. And that's the thing about this business. There's actually a lot of space at the top. There's a lot of space at the top because most people hang out the bottom. They get stuck at that habit loop of self-care. Like, how do I finally figure out how to take care of myself? And the reality is Beachbody has laid it all out for us so simply. We literally just have to follow it, right? And stop getting in our own way. But that's where coaches get stuck. And then the next level where a lot of coaches then advance to and dabble with is inviting to challenge groups. And most of you guys, all of you guys on this call right now, if you're listening to the replay, have invited somebody at some point to join you in a challenge group, okay? And that's like the next exciting level. But I see a lot of coaches on our team, especially, right? Again, think of the triangle. It's bigger at the bottom. Less and less people then reach out and start building a team. Going Emerald, for the most part, can be pretty simple in the beginning because when you're going Emerald, you're like, okay, I can get my spouse and I can get my best friend or I can get like my customer or whatever. And you can find those 2 people fairly easy. And honestly, getting to Diamond, you could find 4 people on your left and 4 people on your right that are customers of yours. Like, let's just say, for example, you hit Success Club in January. I'll even put it in right now where we're at. You hit Success Club in July. Okay, you have 3 brand new people that you're helping, right? Of those 3 people, I'm sure that you could convert 2 of them to coach status by the end of the month because of the discount. So right there, you're Emerald. So in July, you went Emerald. Say you do the same thing again in August, right? So you have your 2 in July. In August, you get 2 more people. You hit Success Club, and of those 3 people, you get 2 of them to become coaches. Okay, you're halfway to Diamond, right? Honestly, let's keep doing the math. September, October. By October, you could have your 8 coaches to be Diamond. I mean, really, you don't have to wait till next year's summit. You don't have to wait till, the stars align. By October, I mean, you could truly be Diamond. You can build a Diamond team off of discount coaches. Okay? But the level we get stuck at, I think, is just building there at the discount level. Right? We get stuck with like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. I'm posting on social media. I'm following my tracker, right? I'm doing all the things Brittany's telling me I'm supposed to be doing. But are you climbing your way through the levels? Are you showing up for your self-care, posting on social media, and inviting people only to the challenge group? Are you living, walking proof of the business and of the community that you've also joined? And so that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight, especially with Summit. Events, you guys, are such an incredible opportunity for us to tell people why we really do what we do. That it's beyond shakes and a workout and posting on social media. It's so much bigger than that. Community, you guys, if you listen to the National Wake Up Call today, that was the first point that she talked about. And I love that because community is something that we were all designed and crafted for. But it's something that we so desperately lack in our world today. Community today is like, oh, I know that person on Instagram because I follow them. That's not community. I'm sorry. And we don't crave following people on social media because I promise you that I leave social media way more depleted than when I entered it. True community happens in the flesh. And that's what's really incredible about live events is we get the opportunity to actually have that with each other. For the first time for some of us meeting face to face, we get to have that actual community. And then beyond just the community of our team, you get to see a community of other people that are crazy like you are in love with Beachbody products. So it's pretty cool. So this week is an awesome week through this week, even into the excitement of next week to really leverage that. And invite people to your team, invite people to your community, but also invite people to the business, okay? And so I have a couple slides, it's not very much, it's just pretty brief, but it's some things that we can consider before, during, and after Summit to kind of leverage the invite to the team. So before Summit, one of the questions that I have to ask you is, do your followers know that there is an event happening? And here's the deal. I'm going to even skip all the way down to the bottom bullet because this is important to note. People are so busy that if you said it once on your story last week that you're really excited about an event, no one knows about that. No one remembers. No one heard you. No one's thinking about it today. Like, we are all so consumed and busy with our own lives, guys, that we have to be redundant and repetitive. Okay? So the reality is, do your followers know that there is an event happening? Have you shared about it? And guys, honestly, right now, while you're on this call, not the time to be sharing, not the time to be scrolling your social media, not the time to be, in the team page, loving on people's stuff. Like, this is a dedicated time to training. So if you're on the call and you actually set aside time to get on this call, take it seriously. Pencil, paper out. That's what I do. That's how I learn. That's how I sit and go into trainings. And I still do that in my business today. So success leaves clues, you guys. So seriously, don't let this is not oh, do your followers know there's an event happening? And I want you to go squirrel and go tell your followers that Summit's happening. No, wait till after, write this down, and then have a specific strategy for later, right? We don't want to be grabbing at all these things right now. Right now, invest in the time that you're sitting here to be in a training, right? Talk about why you're excited about Summit. What are you excited about? Maybe what are you nervous about, right? How do you involve the people who aren't at Summit to be involved with you? One thing that I think people love doing is giving their opinions because people love to help. Now, if it's opinion you don't want, then don't ask for it. But if you're not going to get butthurt by their answers, then ask, right? So for example, I truly don't care which choice they tell me to go with for this dress. Oh, there's a bug in here. Sorry. But I posted the 2 dress ideas that I have for Summit. And I asked people which one, I should go with. Now, you don't have to be I can already hear it. Brittany, I'm not walking on the stage. Brittany, I'm not. Brittany, I'm not. No, your followers don't know left from right. So while you're packing, should I pack this blouse or this blouse? Should I wear my hair like this or like this when I get to have my picture with the super trainer? When I am going to meet up with my team for the first time, should I wear this or this, right? You can still do that. So don't use the excuses I don't have you don't have to use my specific example of what the dress is for as an excuse for you. You guys can totally figure out with your packing and your opinions what people could help with you. Even as simple as what color should I do my nails? If you're going to go get your nails done or whatever. Maybe you earned something unique for Summit. Now, again, I don't want you to be oh, I'm not top coach, Brittany, so I didn't earn anything unique. Let's think through this. Some of us earned the Jericho workout. Some of us earned Emerald over the last, between now and maybe this your first Summit. So this is the first time, but maybe you earned a special recognition of rank. Okay. That's pretty cool. Maybe you earned a dinner. Maybe you earned Success Club party. Maybe you just like whatever. It doesn't have to be monumental. And sometimes your memory just needs to be jogged a little bit by thinking back, like, what have I done in the last year? And so how can you leverage that? How can you market that? How can you tell people that you earned something, that this business is a real thing, that it's not like, oh, I'm just posting about this Beachbody thing. No, this is legit and I earned it, right? And again, be repetitive because people are so busy and worried about what's going on in their own life. And this time of year with the summer is just so insane that once you post it and they read it once or scroll on by, they probably won't remember. So every day in my story leading up to Summit, I am telling people that there's this event happening, that I'm so excited about it, right? Use pictures. If you don't have, like, you can steal, I shared about the ribbons that I'll be giving you guys. That have our team name on it. And it obviously, like, you guys don't have these yet, but you have access to the picture because I shared it with you on the team page. So you can take the picture and put it in your story or whatever, right? So there are things like beg, borrow, and steal if you just don't have it physically in your hands, but continue to be repetitive and breadcrumb this event that you're really excited about. During the event, you guys, it's important that we're creating this FOMO, fear of missing out, right? That we want people to be, they want to envision themselves like, hey, could you see yourself in this picture? Could you see yourself at this workout with us, right? And I like to think of everything, again, in kind of a hierarchy. Everything that I do starts with my coaches. Everything I do starts with Inspire Beauty, and I take care of my team first. Before I go and try to find a brand new challenger or a brand new coach, I'm going to talk to my coaches. Before I go find a new person, I'm going to love on the people that have already said yes. So it starts with my coaches. So I like to remind them, especially the ones who are not attending, that I wish they were there with me, right? The ones that were going to attend and no longer will, I have a game plan for how I'm going to love on them because I wish they could have made it, right? Like, I'm really going to miss them. And so are you guys. They're going to be missed. For the coaches that, and maybe you're like, Brittany, I don't have any coaches that aren't attending, but you might have coaches on your team right now that aren't there with you. So while you're there, like, I wish you were in this picture with us. You've got to get here next year, right? And leveraging the fact that they're a coach and they can be at this event. It doesn't matter if you're, slaying challenge packs or, leveling up in your rank. That doesn't matter. This is about bringing our community together. And so telling them that you want them there with you next year and get them amped and excited for that. The energy starts while you're there. Don't wait till, next March to say, hey, you should come to Summit with me. Unless, of course, they're a newer coach. Coaches right now, those are the ones who aren't there are the ones you really want to leverage to get with you. Talk to your challengers. Any challengers who aren't coaches, oh my gosh, tell them why they love this team and specifically this event. One of the big things that happens at these events is you get to see the trainers live and you get to do live workouts with them. And so something that I love to tell my challengers is, oh my gosh, you would have, and I'll share like in the challenge group, the workout we're doing with Autumn that day, or the, super trainer workout that we do on Saturday morning, or whatever it is, right? And I'm going to share how freaking close I am to these trainers. And I'm going to tell them, you guys are like, if you love Beachbody, if you love these programs and you love these trainers, there is nothing like getting in front of them live. It's pretty stinking cool. And truthfully, for a challenger who simply just loves the products and just wants the discount, potentially, Summit is really their only lifeline to then meet the trainers, because every other opportunity to meet a trainer is for business builders, like the Success Club trip or Team Cup winners or New Leader Conference, Leadership Conference, those things. Those are for business building coaches. So the only opportunity that somebody like a challenger would have to meet one of these coaches or work out live with them is truly to leverage the team and then Summit event. Keeping in mind, too, to tell your coaches, especially the ones who are brand new, that if they hit Success Club their first 3 months in the business in a row, they earn a free ticket. And so your challengers, if you're bringing challengers and converting them to coaches, to leverage that too. Hey, if you hit Success Club, if you help 3 people in, let's say they onboard in July, August, September, each month, then you get a free ticket to this event, right? And giving them that goal right off the bat. It's so important during the event to share, overshare what you love about the community. It's going to be really easy because you'll have your phone to just do like a video or to take a screenshot of, when a new product launches and to just put that on social media. And while that's awesome, like take the screenshots, take the videos, I'm going to ask you to like save them and then upload them later. Don't be on your phone the whole time at Summit and miss it, right? Like you paid for a ticket, so be at Summit. And then maybe on your lunch break or on your dinner and your off time, like go back through everything you saved and then strategize what is important to share with your community and how can you share that with a twist of why you love Beachbody rather than. Am I back? Can someone tell me where I left off or where you could hear me through? Sorry about that. Anyone, feel free.
Take screenshots and save pictures. Don't be on your phone the whole time.
Cool. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so exactly what Heather said. So, you know, like save it for later, like do that stuff, right? But then later go back and strategize. What can you take from this and share to show what you love about the community and why other people need it, right? In the moment, if you just share a screenshot of a new product, let's say, you know, like Transform 20 just launched, right? And you share a little snippet of that, big deal, right? Remember, the purpose of a coach is to inspire other people to do what we're doing. And just taking a screenshot of a program that they literally have no clue what it is, because it just launched and it's, you know, it's only in our community that we know these things. It's just going to go over their head and it's going to be white noise. It's not going to matter. We want to make it matter. So how can you take those moments, those really special moments, and tell a story throughout Summit, right? And again, you don't have to upload everything. Like take lots of pictures, take all the videos, do all the fun stuff, boomerangs and stuff, but you can save those for later. Like, you know, when you're trying 2 months later to talk about coaching and you don't have the perfect picture, that's when you be like, oh, I have all these pictures left from Summit, right? So during the event, really be at the event, but make sure that you're thinking forward with how you can share about what you love. Okay, now after the event, and this is something I want to dive into, and I think it's time to like really acknowledge this. If you're like, when I talked about this like pyramid at the beginning, where the base is our self-care, okay, you're like, Brittany, I'm good with that. Okay, next level, inviting to challenge groups. Okay, Brittany, I'm trying that. I'm getting there. I'm starting to feel comfortable with it. I do have a challenge group that I run, and every month, like I've got it set, like what's happening in July, what's happening in August. Like I'm thinking ahead, right? Because that's what we do as CEOs. We forward think. We don't wait for people to tell us what to do. We get creative when we think of it first, right? And then implement it. But then the next level is going to be inviting to the team. And we can kind of cross these together. Again, like I said, when you're inviting to a challenge group, you can absolutely tell them, hey, I have 2 options, right? That's something we've been practicing, a best practice on our team this whole year. And you guys have been rocking it with that, with, hey guys, I have 2 options for you, right? The first one is to like just 1 month, that's it, and you pay full price. The second one, let me tell you about that. And you break down what it means to be a coach, yeah? And we've gotten really great at that. But that's not necessarily how you're going to find your business builders. That's not how you're going to find your team. That's not how you find the people like the ladies who are there with me in that picture who are going to be on a Success Club trip with you or whatever, right? Building like a full-on tribe, right? And so if you want to continue to duplicate that, you've got to host monthly coach sneak peeks. And yes, I'm talking about you. The problem is we overcomplicate this. We're like, oh my gosh, I only have 1 person that wants to be my sneak peek this month. Okay. Last month, I only, quote unquote, had 1 person in my sneak peek. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. That person also saved my freaking butt, you guys, because I almost didn't hit Success Club last month, and I clawed to the last freaking second, and she's the one that came in clutch and ordered for me. You know what I mean? And like that, and guys, I'm telling you, as a person who has hit Success Club now, this is now 27 months, I was not going down like that. And I clawed. But that 1 person that was in my sneak peek was the one who saved my you-know-what. So I don't care if you have 1 person, because that 1 person matters. You guys are all 1 person. You all mattered to me or to your coach when that conversation came up. You mattered. You were the 1 person that mattered when it came to talking about coaching. And so it's like we need this like tribe of people to bring in before we can host a sneak peek. False. A couple other ways, like sometimes people are like, well, I can't host sneak peeks because I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable on video. Okay, well, number 1, get over it and start practicing, right? That's the only way we get comfortable. But number 2, there are so many ways to run a sneak peek. You can run a sneak peek in your story. You can run a sneak peek. You can create a separate handle on social media. Some of you have seen that I've done that, where it's just a Inspire Beauty like sneak peek or a coach sneak peek. And then you plug people into that page. You could do it on a live Zoom like this. You could do a pre-recorded video that you send to people. You could send them into our team sneak peeks. They're really, although it's not going right now, that content never goes away. So let's say today you have somebody who wants to know about coaching. You can always add them into that group, tag them under the first post, and take them through the sneak peek as if it was live, right? So don't worry about like dates. Like, oh, somebody wants to know about coaching, but it's not a sneak peek date, right? The reality is we overcomplicate it. We want to have all the answers. I have hosted so many sneak peeks month after month after month, and they're pretty much the same thing over and over and over again, because for a long time I was overcomplicating what I needed to say. And then I was like, well, I just need to streamline it. So there's really 4 things that I do in every sneak peek. And if you've been a part of my sneak peeks before, you might have an aha right now where you're like, oh, okay, I see how she's done that every single time. I include my story, who I am, how I got started, why I joined as a Beachbody coach. I talk about who I am and like my story with Beachbody. I talk about what a coach does. I've broken this down before into categories with like challenge groups and social media. Sometimes I don't do the social media stuff because I don't want to like give people too much information where they're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't want people to stop themselves before they start, right? So what a coach does, truthfully, what I just told you, that baseline, self-care. We learn how to take care of ourselves, and then we teach other people how to do it too, right? And that's really as basic as it gets. And then if a coach really wants to go to the next level, which like that's what we're talking about now, is we start inviting people to the team and teaching them how to do what we do, right? But that doesn't even need to be told to somebody unless they're like, I'm running, Brittany. Like if somebody comes to me and they're like, I want this business like now, then okay, let's talk about how you create a team, right? But most people in general, we're going to start with our challenge pack. We're going to get plugged into a challenge group. You're going to get plugged into the team page, and you're going to get plugged into team training. And then from there, if then you feel compelled to inspire other people, you reach out and you do that, right? I also like to talk about the common hesitations, like people still use the phrase pyramid scheme to this day, which is crazy, it's just insane to me that people still say that, but common hesitation right there. A lot of times people say they don't have time for this business. I'm so busy, I don't have time. I talk about that. I talk about people who are afraid of selling and sounding salesy and all that stuff, right? Common hesitations. And then I always end with a call to action. I talk about maybe like, if it was this month, I'd talk about the promo for Morning Meltdown. I would talk about like why they want to be a part of this team and how they can get started, right? And a lot of times my call to action with like picking a pack and that sort of thing, that doesn't happen in the sneak peek. That happens one-on-one with the individual, right, behind the scenes. So that's what I include in every sneak peek that I run. And so while we're at Summit, you're going to be sharing all this stuff. A really great best practice would be to create a post-Summit Instagram story sneak peek, including these things that I told you, your story. So day 1, right? Your sneak peek day 1. Just tell them your story, who you are, why did you start? Day 2, talk about what a coach does. Day 3, we'll talk about a couple hesitations and then answer them, right? And then day 4 would be a call to action where you ask people if they want to join your team, right? Now, anybody, when I do sneak peeks in my story, you guys, if they watched it all the way through and they didn't do anything at my call to action, they get invited. They get invited because they stinking watched my entire sneak peek. I also like to take note too of anybody who's watched day after day after day after day. So let's say Susie, she watches on Monday my story all the way through and she doesn't say a word. On Tuesday, she watches all about what a coach does. Wednesday, common hesitations. By Thursday's call to action, she's still watching, but she hasn't said anything. She's getting an invite, right? And this is the thing. You might do it the first time and you're like, well, it was a flop. Nobody joined. But these are things that you have to wash, rinse, repeat every single month. I see so many coaches start a free group and they try it once. They feel like it was a failure. They never try it again. I see coaches try hosting a challenge group. They try it once, twice. They feel like it's not going well. They stop. I see coaches try a sneak peek once. It didn't work. They stop. Guys, this business is not built on trying something one time. If you want to see like the most boring thing in the world, my tracker. The business is built on literally checking off boxes every single day. And that's how habits are formed, right? Habits in any way, whether it's a habit that's serving you towards your goals or a habit that's not, is formed with every day, those small steps, right? And so it's important to note that, like, even if you go to Summit and you have this great time and you do everything I told you to, you talk about Summit right now and you show the energy and the excitement about it, and you create the FOMO, you bring people into the community aspect of it next week, and you share about why you love our team. And then after Summit's over, you lay out a really great post-Summit Instagram story sneak peek, and no one wants to join your team. That doesn't mean it's not working. It just means your people aren't watching. You haven't found the right people yet. That's all it is, right? Every single, well, I won't say every single, because Kayla's on this call. Kayla's an OG, but everybody else, like, guys, I didn't know you when I started my business. So you have to understand that, like, the Heathers, the Raquels, the Olivias, the Kaylas, the Brittany's, like, those people are going to come to you if you just don't give up, right? The quote that I gave the team this week on our weekly announcements is what I'm just like so on fire about, because I think it's just so important that we remember this. Abby Wambach, she wrote the book Wolfpack, which I haven't read it yet, but I hear it is amazing and it's on my list to read soon. But she in her book wrote, a woman who never gives up can never lose, right? The only way that we lose is when we give up. So not giving up on these things. So I want you to, these are things like I'm asking you to do something bold this week. You're like, oh, I thought I was just going to go to Summit and like do my workout, have a good time, and then like go home, be done with it. No, I'm asking you to level up. I'm asking you to come back from Summit and be on fire about this team, be on fire about this community, be on fire that you're going to Summit, get there and share and celebrate it all, right? But then come home and actually do something with it. Use it for good. Don't use it to hold on to, but use it for good that you can pass forward, because you never know, you guys, whose life you'd impact simply by inviting them to join you, right? You have no clue. So that's it, guys. That's all I got tonight. It's just a little short and sweet. Any questions about sneak peeks in general? Okay. So I'm going to either take that for two things, guys. When I ask if we've got questions, like, I'm just going to be real about it. When I ask if we've got questions and there's nothing, it either means you absolutely freaking rock it and you know it, or it means that you don't even know what question to ask because you have zero clue. What does that mean? That means you need to dig into training more. You need to get out there and say, how do coaches run sneak peeks? How do they do this? How do they do that, right? Like, we've got to get out there and we've got to become better students of our craft so that we can ask better questions. Because what the reports coming back to me aren't showing that we're rocking sneak peeks. And I want you guys to be able to leverage that, but I can't help you if you don't ask questions. So what I'm going to ask of you is go out, do some research on recruiting, coach sneak peeks, all that good stuff. And then when you do have questions, bring them back to the team page and I will be able to then answer them for you and give you a little bit more clarity. Let's take our picture then, since there's no questions. Ooh. All right, Kristen, you popped on and we were just popping off taking our picture. Sorry, awkward. I don't know if she's going to turn her video on or not. All right, guys. Last picture through a screen, and then I actually get to take pictures with you live. Pretty excited about that. So, all right, guys. 3, 2, 1, picture. Yay! Safe travels to Indy, everybody. Make sure that you are telling us your whereabouts and all that good stuff in the Summit thread so that we make sure that everyone is good to go. That's just my motherly stuff coming out. So make sure that you're in that thread letting us know when you arrive and good things like that. And I can't wait to hug you all soon. All right, guys. Have a good night.